On Daybreak on 12 News Plus, we're live at Marshall Middle School as Beaumont ISD heads back to school. The new teacher pay raises and how they'll benefit students as well.
Plus, Harmony Science Academy in Beaumont, they're hoping its new bus program is going to help tackle that traffic on Calder. The response from a concerned family member who isn't sold on the plan.
And Beaumont Mayor Roy West is live in studio discussing the latest on the bond proposals that'll be on the ballot this November. 12 News Daybreak starts now. Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for waking up with Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Tia Johnson.
And I'm Mark Armstrong. It's 7:01, so let's go ahead and get a first look at your weather with meteorologist Jeff Gerber. And here's a live look outside from our Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. Beautiful sunrise right there in Orange and Jasper. Jeff, how's it looking out there today?
Looking pretty good. We only have a couple of showers near the coast. That's about it. Everywhere else, a nice dry start. Lots of sunshine out there for this morning. Like I said, near the coast, though, we're seeing a couple of showers. A few isolated thunderstorms. They're drifting off more towards the east than anything, so really not working their way northward. But High Island's getting some pretty heavy rain this morning, and looks like that next shower there is kind of staying a little bit south of Sabine Pass. Temperatures right now into the middle to lower 70s, at least lower 70s in Jasper at 73. Then we jump to 74 in Kirbyville. Looks like Orange and Woodville's at 76, while 75 in Silsbee, 73 in Beaumont, and 77 towards Port Arthur. Temperatures climbing out of the 80s into the lower 90s. By lunchtime, we'll be in those lower 90s through the afternoon. About 30-40% coverage of some scattered showers and thunderstorms for this afternoon. So keep your umbrella handy. Looks like we'll continue to see rain chances through the next several days. We'll have your 7-day forecast, and we'll look at the tropics coming up.
Time right now, 7:02.
Yep, and most Southeast Texas students, they are heading back to class this morning.
In Beaumont, there are some new changes within the district this year. 12 News reporter Daniela Tabuada is live from Marshall Middle School talking teacher raises this morning. Daniela, this will affect students as well. Which students are walking into the school now?
Mark, Tia, Marshall Middle School is getting pay raises for their teachers thanks to House Bill 2, and this is going to give teachers, thankfully, the appreciation they deserve. This past legislative session passed a bill giving teachers and some staff a significant pay raise. According to Beaumont ISD, the new teacher's salary will start at $55,500. From these teachers with 3 to 5 years will see a $2,500 raise, and teachers with 5 or more years will receive a $5,000 raise. All great news, not just for teachers, but also for students.
Getting that money from the state is going to help with teacher morale, and when teachers are happy and they have the tools that they need and they're getting paid a decent wage, they'll do even better job for the students.
The district also announced a 4% raise from the salary midpoint for all eligible employees, along with one-time stipend of up to $1,000 for qualifying staff members. Ahead on 12 News at 7:30, learn about how your kids are going to be putting their phones in a different place than their backpacks. In Beaumont, Danielle Tawa, 12 News.
All right, thank you, Daniela. With school back in session at Harmony Science Academy in Beaumont, traffic concerns have been a big frustration for parents. You may have seen those bottlenecks on Calder near the school. Parents tell us they typically wait 45 minutes after school to pick up their kids, but Harmony may have a solution. It's offering a new bus service for the elementary school.
Yeah, the students who opt in for this off-site pickup, they're going to be shuttled to one of 4 locations at the end of the school day. But the reaction from parents has been mixed. 12 News reporter Spencer Plato explains.
We come expecting to wait a long time.
Bumper to bumper on Calder. Hazel Lazar says she waits more than an hour in the car rider line at Harmony Science Academy Elementary School.
This crazy line is good for the first day so far, usually a little bit more congested.
The line backs up in both directions. And it's not just parents and students being impacted.
You can see it can affect our business because the traffic, in order for customers to come in, there's not like a spot for them to come in.
Now, HSA is introducing a busing system that'll take students to hubs for parents to pick them up. While some say they would opt in, Lazar says she has concerns on the drop-off locations.
And safety is one of the first things we want to have for our kids. And that's kind of, it's bad enough kids have to stand on the corners, you know, and now to be just dropped off in the park, that's kind of dangerous to me.
HSA says they hired a bus company that will allow the school to offer 4 bus routes. The 4 locations include Beaumont Athletic Complex, Village Shopping Center, Gateway Shopping Center, and Rogers Park. The goal is to help traffic flow on Calder.
We're definitely trying to promote it because of the lines, and when the parents are going to the hubs to pick up their students, you know, that none of the hubs are further than 10 minutes away. So the buses were over there by 3:30 today.
HSA Principal Melissa Vine says the buses are transporting up to 250 students, and some will have aides to watch the students.
The bus that had the most students, they actually had 2 people on the bus today. And if it gets to that point where the buses, like, we will send staff if needed. Right now we're not, because these are trained bus drivers.
Lazar believes this could save time spent in the car rider line, but is hesitant to opt in.
I wouldn't want my child dropped off at the park. It's just too much happening these days.
Well, developing this morning in Beaumont, voters, they now have a lot to decide come November. Yesterday, city council members and the mayor, they voted on the bond that'll be on the ballot, the bond package, I should say, which includes several propositions. And this morning, we are lucky to have Beaumont's Mayor Roy West in studio to discuss what is on that bond proposal. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Well, good morning. It's a pleasure to be here.
Let's talk about it. We've got our sheets right
Yes,
here.
sir.
We got a lot of big projects on here, but run me through maybe some of the highlights.
Well, this is an exciting time for Beaumont because the residents are getting to say about what the future of Beaumont will look like. And we've got several projects on there we'll run through in a minute, but I want to remind people these aren't new projects. These are projects, many of them have been talked about for a long time, but couldn't be funded through the general funds. So whenever they were always going to be funded through a general obligation bond in order for them to be built. And but these are changes people will certainly notice. It's the first bond election for the city of Beaumont in 43 years, so it's a big moment.
It was almost like, dare I say, birthing pains watching the last couple of meetings, one on Monday and one on Tuesday. Y'all had some big decisions. Ultimately, it came down to almost a marketing presentation to the community. You wanted to keep the total bond package under $300 million and the cost to the average taxpayer under $15 per month per every $150,000 of property value. What we lost in that, though, was the Dowland Road extension, a major project. But let's talk about what we still have in this bond package.
Well, and that's really more of the story, you know, is because until we passed allowing for a bond issue, we had none of this available to us. So there's lots of wins, but it was important having a bond advisory committee. You know, they had done study that this council had appointed, and some of the bond advisory members were involved in this before 4 of our council people were even elected. So I applaud our new council as well, because there's just been drinking water out of a fire hose, if you will. There's a lot of information in their first 3 months. And the first part's infrastructure, which we're looking at $58 million. The biggest ticket item on that is additional drainage. And, you know, this is in addition to everything that is already being done. So, you know, when it comes to roads, when it comes to water, when it comes to sewer, you know, your water and sewer rates help pay for your water and sewer. And we've been very progressive on that. But this is new drainage, new street improvements, and then also a citywide sidewalk initiative.
And that's going to let you know, really put together a plan for where sidewalks need to be based on where the most demand is for them, so that you'll be prepared to go after maybe some grants or some state funding and things like that. Always important to have a plan. And, you know, as we say about infrastructure, and what I understand, a lot of this is maintenance, or it's not necessarily new capacity or anything like that. And that's what voters are really concerned about. Let's fix a lot of the infrastructure that we have.
That's right.
And this $58 million really gets at that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then we move into facilities and public safety. And, you know, Beaumont has been around since 1838. And obviously, none of our buildings have been that old, but several of them, you know, we're looking at a new fire station at station number 4, which is at Lucas and Gladys. And it was built in 1954. A new animal care shelter that, for people that have been out there, it is it's too small and not designed as they should be today. So that's very exciting and something that's been talked about for a long time. And also, our police station is over 50 years old. The elevator doesn't work lots of times. You know, the building's gotten tired, and our police are spread out over 7 buildings. So we're looking at another, which is big ticket item, a new police headquarters, which we're talking right at $60 million.
And y'all dropped that price tag because it was originally $100 million. So y'all have definitely been making some cuts to these projects to fit them into something that the voters could go for. I'm interested about that multi-purpose sports and community facility. Is that still going to be downtown?
Well, we've got 2 that we're looking at. One specifically will go into Alice Keith Park in the south end because we have a $2 million grant from the state for that as well. The other one, it has been talked about either downtown or at the athletic complex on College. And that decision isn't a part of this bond decision. As once this passed, then we'll be able to do facilities study for many municipal buildings to make sure we're putting them in the correct spot.
Mayor, we'll bring this, we'll start to wrap up this interview here. Of course, Riverfront Park extension, that had a bit of contention on it last night with one council member, but that's also in there as a separate proposition. And then the last proposition is going to be that Point Parkway North Extension, Proposition E. Of course, most important to inform yourself, go to Beaumont-Bonds.com. I want to give you kind of the last sentiment here, but I just ask you to be quick with it. Dowling Road, major project, didn't make the cut here. What's the future of that project?
Well, it can certainly be on a future bond project. That's not a problem. And we didn't mention parks and trails and recreation, which are really important.
Yes.
That's a $37 million project. But again, as you said, Beaumont-Bonds.com, you can go get that information. The city's going to be pushing out a lot of information. And as y'all are doing this morning, I know y'all will be getting the information out again, and I thank you for that.
Mayor Roy West, thank you so much for joining us. So much information to go over. Thank you for giving us some time on this.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, still ahead, keeping your funds protected in the digital age, how to boost your safety options when using a digital wallet. Plus, a dad reviews his baby like a reviewer on a feature for a new tech gadget. Check out this on your trending news coming up.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I wouldn't say that I was like a partier, but I would say that I was a social butterfly. So we would just always drink. That night, I went through a red light and I T-boned another vehicle. And I just remember thinking like, oh no. Right after the DWI, I lost my license and I did 30 days in jail. I could have killed him because I decided to be reckless. I have a ton of regrets. I'm Katie. 5 years ago, I got a DWI and I'm still paying for it every day.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, don't mess with Texas, means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, don't mess with Texas means don't litter.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn here with one of the most important hurricane tips, having an evacuation plan. First, gather food, water, and medicine before storing it in an emergency kit. Plan well in advance where you're going, how you'll get there, and if you'll need to transport any pets, small children, or the elderly. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
The way we pay has moved away from cash. The most common options, a card or more recently, a digital wallet. But how safe is it to go digital? Tanya Rivera has some tips to help protect your money.
A 2024 Consumer Reports survey found that about 75% of Americans have used digital wallets, and of those, 4 in 10 people use it 1 a week. Well, the digital wallet allows you to put your credit card, your debit card, or a loyalty card, like for a grocery store, all on your phone. This way, if you didn't have your old school wallet with you, you could still pay for things. It's convenient, but just like anything else, it can come with risks if you don't know how to protect your money.
Someone gets into your digital wallet, they could access your money within seconds. That's why it's so important to add every layer of protection that you can.
The first recommendation to protect your digital wallet, make sure it's locked. So you'll need a face scan, a fingerprint, or a passcode to make a payment. Now, not all apps do this by default, so you may need to turn that feature on. To keep tabs on transactions, just like you do for your regular bank account, turn on transaction alerts for every purchase. That way you can make it a habit to check your bank and card balances regularly. And you know, you could lose your wallet. It could fall out of your purse, or it could be left on a cafe table. And you could lose your phone that has your digital wallet too. So having your digital wallet locked helps keep your money safe. But it's also a good idea to make sure that your phone can be found remotely so that you can erase all your data before someone else gets it if your phone is lost or stolen. Here's how you do that on an iPhone. You're going to go to Settings, tap your name, then Find My, and make sure Find My iPhone is on. If you have an Android phone, it's called Find My Device. Just sign in with your Google account and it's enabled automatically.
Sun's coming up on this Wednesday morning, and you can see blazing right over the top of Jasper for this morning. Mostly clear skies up in the Jasper area. This camera brought to you by Provalis, part of the Roofing 911 Live Skycam network. As we see a little traffic up there in towards Jasper. Jasper is one of the cooler spots on the map. It's 73 degrees for this morning. Also here in Beaumont, we're showing 73 at the Municipal Airport west of town. Finally got that thermometer back up and running. 76 in Orange, 76 in Woodville, 74 right now in Kirbyville, about 75 in Silsbee, and 77 in Port Arthur. Been seeing a little bit of activity near the coast for this morning, but that's been about it. Haven't seen any rain really from, say, Beaumont northward. Everything's been pretty quiet out further for this morning, but we have a few isolated cells. Sabine Pass has gotten a couple of rounds of some rain for this morning, and over towards High Island, they've been getting a little bit of rain for this morning, probably at least a half an inch or so over that way. Eastern sections of Bolivar Peninsula has been getting some rain for this morning. Let's put the radar into motion. You can see that one cell kind of moved through Port Arthur up towards Mid-County. Now that's died and moved off towards the east, and I have more isolated showers right along the coast there. They're drifting northward, but they're falling apart as they drift northward, so don't expect too much. Maybe a couple of those little showers making it in towards the south end of Port Arthur for this morning. That's about it. Other places around the state, we're looking at showers and thunderstorms across northeast Texas this morning. Not quite to the Dallas area, or maybe the southern suburbs of Dallas, seeing some rain and thunderstorms for this morning. So we'll go through the morning pretty quiet, maybe a couple of showers near the coast. By 10 o'clock, middle 80s. By lunchtime, we'll be in around 90. And then through the afternoon, we'll see some more scattered showers and thunderstorms. About a 40% coverage for today, with highs into those lower 90s. What does develop should start to die down as we head towards later on this evening. And then as we go through the overnight, once again, I think it's going to be pretty quiet as we head towards Thursday morning, except for maybe a couple of showers or thunderstorms right near the coast for tomorrow. Here's Tropical Storm Erin, which is going to be working its way westward, but it looks like it's going to continue to miss the Caribbean. Looks like it's going to miss the Bahamas as well. Right now, still about 45-mile-an-hour winds, moving to the west at 20. They're expecting it to be in a little bit more favorable conditions for development as we head towards Friday into the weekend, and they're expecting it to be a major hurricane. Will not affect the Gulf. Also, we're looking at this area of disturbed weather right off the coast of the Yucatan, Belize. It's going to drift over to the southern Gulf. Right now, they don't really expect it to develop too much, and I don't think it's going to be a problem for southeast Texas. Might give some heavier rains to parts of Mexico as we head towards later this week into the weekend. Our forecast, lower 90s, 40% coverage of rain today with south winds, and then for tonight, middle to lower 70s, mostly clear skies, and we're really not expecting any rain except for maybe some showers near the coast tomorrow morning. 7-day forecast really doesn't show a whole lot of change here. 30-40% coverage of a shower or thunderstorm here or there throughout each day, and we'll see temperatures in the 90s for highs and lows in the 70s.
You know, speaking of that, thing out there in the Atlantic Ocean, I'm really glad for local forecasting here. And I say that because I hear more and more people get these things on social media where it's like it targets you. It's like, oh, that thing, it's coming right at you. It's just a scam, misinformation.
Oh, people want their clicks.
Yes.
And a lot of people on Facebook, they get paid for those. So they put out the scariest information they can, so people click on it and say, oh my gosh, what's going on? And literally it's a forecast that's 2 weeks out, and it never will ever come to fruition, but they got to make some money.
Yep. So that's why we got the app and Jeff Gerber.
That's why we give you the right information. We don't tell you what's going to happen 2 weeks. We tell you we think when we know it's going to have a pretty good chance of happening within the next week or so. Yeah, next 7 to 10 days.
Well, thank you, Jeff. Keep it up. All right, it is 7:21. Time for some trending news. And trending online this morning, a viral video of a new dad who reviewed his 4-month-old baby.
Yep, he detailed her features like the latest tech gadget. Take a look.
Now the features, the cute factor is off the charts. Definitely enterprise grade adorability, advanced grip functionality, surprisingly good audio. Frankly, the volume could be a little bit lower. And pro tip, the cuddle feature is absolutely worth the premium pricing.
The trend has inspired other parents to post their own baby reviews. Love to see this trend. I'm sure it's pretty cute.
Very cute.
All right, the TikTok traveler says the fastest way to check out of your hotel is to not check out at all.
Ooh, that's rude. In a viral clip, she walks straight out of the hotel without a peep to the front desk, saying, "This is how you check out. You just walk out." Now, critics in the comments, they are calling it rude, saying that checking out helps staff and gives future guests a heads up. Travel experts, they agree. You can technically leave without saying anything, but it's just good manners to tell the desk. Plus, it helps avoid those surprise minibar charges. So skip the awkward interaction, sure, but don't skip the courtesy. I would only do that if I was in like a big hurry or something like that.
I agree. I always stop at the desk, no matter how early my flight is and stuff. It's just better. It's best to be cautious.
I thought it was the law. All right, if you thought taking part in your loved one's wedding was expensive, well, that trend is now moving on to other celebrations.
Yeah, a new app helps fund romantic trips, but it passes the buck to family and friends. Honey Fund's new feature lets them help pay for anniversaries, vow renewals, and more. One couple tested it out for their 10-year anniversary, allowing their loved ones to chip in for a cruise. They even broke the cost down for things like excursions or poolside drink access. I feel 50-50 about it.
I do too.
You know?
I could... that trip might keep them together. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's like if you can't afford it, don't go. But then I also see like, hey, help me out.
I would say come in with lowered expectations if you were asking for help. Maybe not go for the full-on
funding the whole trip. Can you get the flight maybe or something?
Yeah, maybe just make it a little bit more economical.
But there's payment plans now. Klarna, Afterpay, like there's options.
Be enterprising. That's what we say.
All right. Time now 7:23. Jeff will be back with a look at your forecast.
This is a tornado on the ground.
And the roads are slippery.
We have a tropical storm warning.
Look at this water.
Street flooding in Beaumont.
It is going to get extremely cold.
The metal building blew away from a business.
Staying safe behind the wheel is imperative.
Find a safe spot, move to an interior room.
Just make sure you're staying safe.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
409 Sports. To us, it's about so much more than a highlight, wins or losses.
It's the heart that makes up the game, the triumph of the human spirit.
It's agony and victory, diehards and day ones. It can divide or unify a community.
We give you the stats, but then we inspire you with the stories. The unpredictable, unforgettable, and incomparable.
We bring it to you all because sports lives in the 409.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip. Stay connected. Sign up for free emergency alerts from your local county and plan on to monitor the latest local weather and news at 12newsnow.com. Being aware of any new information will be invaluable. And finally, know the types of alerts you may receive. A watch means be prepared, while a warning means act. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
Quick look at your coastal marine forecast. Mostly smooth on the inland lakes and bays. Next high tide is coming up at 7:49 for later on this evening. A south wind at 5 to 10 knots with seas about a foot along the coast. Our sunset tonight's at 8:59.
Coming up, the Beaumont bond is set. What voters are going to see on the ballot in November and how much it could cost taxpayers.
Plus, we're live at Marshall Middle School on the first day of class. How students are expected to comply with the new cell phone ban. Time right now, 7:27. We will be right back.
Good morning, Southeast Texas. Thanks for joining us here on 12 News Daybreak on 12 News Plus. I'm Mark Armstrong.
And I'm Tia Johnson. Your time now 7:30. Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. An appeals court has denied disgraced former BISD electrician Calvin Walker's appeal. He's fighting a judge's decision to revoke his bond and send him to prison. Earlier this year, Judge John Stevens ruled that Walker wasn't making a good faith effort to pay back the money he owes the district. Walker filed a second appeal, which is still pending. He's set to appear in front of Judge Stevens again August 29th.
Closing arguments are going to begin this morning in a Port Arthur man's murder trial. Jovan Naveau is accused of shooting and killing Jalen Howard during an armed robbery at the Valley View Estates apartments back in 2020. Now, he's already serving a life sentence for 2 aggravated robberies from 2018. The prosecution and defense, they rested yesterday.
A man from Katy is heading to prison for attacking an EMT who was trying to help him. It happened in the back of an ambulance in Port Arthur back in 2024. Prosecutors say Christopher Falk punched the first responder several times. He pled guilty to felony assault on a public servant yesterday and was sentenced to 4 years behind bars. He may be eligible for parole in a year. Taking a live look outside now in Orange, meteorologist Jeff Gerber has your forecast for today.
And looks like a pretty quiet start out there this morning. We've had a couple of showers near the coast, but those are dying down pretty quickly. And looks like we'll go through the morning fairly dry, and then we'll start to see some more showers and thunderstorms maybe develop this afternoon. Temperature-wise, walking out the door to some middle 70s, from 75 in Woodville and Silsbee to 74 in Beaumont and Kirbyville, 76 in Orange, 77 Port Arthur, and 73 in Jasper. Highs today reached the lower 90s, around 93, and we'll see about 30-40% coverage of some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there for today. You want to include the umbrella before you walk out the door. You're not going to run into much this morning, but it's on that drive home that you might have to dodge a few showers or an isolated thunderstorm as you make your way from the car back into the house. Also, like I said, it's going to be hot today, about 93. The heat index is going to be up close to 100. So make sure, if you're not getting some of the rain, that you're staying hydrated this afternoon, and also so you're taking some breaks from time to time as you make your way into your afternoon and early evening. The hottest part of the day is usually between about 1 and 4. So if you're out at that point of the day, make sure you're staying well and staying hydrated.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Developing in Beaumont this morning, voters, they now have a lot to decide come November. Yesterday, the city council members, they voted on the bond package that's going to be on the ballot, which includes several propositions. It comes after a bond committee spent months studying the issues and gauging the community's support. Now, city council, they took some of the suggestions from that bond committee and added some ideas of their own.
In the end, they scrapped the Dowling Road extension project, but added a new police headquarters. 12 News reporter Ebony Coleman breaks it all down.
I call it monumental because in my lifetime, we haven't taken the initiative to do something like this all over the entire city of Beaumont and pull projects together and see what all we can do.
In November, residents will be voting on a $264 million bond that council members say will change the landscape and increase the quality of life for the city of Beaumont.
But I am super excited at the potential for the voters, because this puts it in their hands.
The bond will be broken up into 5 propositions. If voters say yes to all of them, you'll pay $14.25 more every month in taxes. That's based on a $150,000 home.
My job today was to represent what I listened to as I've been moving around in my community, and I feel like we got close to a lot of the things our community actually said they wanted to see.
Here's a breakdown. Prop A includes drainage, streets, and sidewalks. Prop B, facilities and public safety, includes a new police headquarters. Prop C funds parks and recreation, including upgrades to Terrell Park. Prop D includes the Riverfront Park extension. Prop E includes the Point Parkway North extension. The Dowling Road extension is no longer being considered. Councilman A.J. Turner says he's glad the Alex Keith the Multi-Purpose Center is included.
And today we got a chance to be in touch. We got a chance to feel what some of these people are struggling and dealing with, and that's why I support it 100%. Not only did I support it, I went out and worked with our state rep to actually get some grant funding to go along with the project to enhance it more, and that was almost roughly $2 million.
Councilwoman LaDonna Sherwood says while most cities have a bond every 3 to 5 years, Beaumont hasn't had one since she was born. She's happy the council came together.
And it looked like a fight in the beginning, but after a while, we came together and we decided to compromise on some things.
This November, you'll have the chance to go proposition by proposition and say yes or no. If any of the propositions fail, that'll change how much you'll pay in taxes.
And yesterday it was a busy one for the Beaumont City Council members because they also approved a 2% increase to the hotel occupancy tax. Now that money, that would help pay for the future downtown convention center and hotel. And this issue also needs to go before the voters. 12 News spoke with Christina Loki, the economic development manager for the city. She says yes, out-of-town travelers, they would indeed be paying more, but it will be worth it.
Is the future development to allow for conventions and meeting planners to have those breakout rooms, to have a building that allows for them to host a meeting here and to have a hotel property right next door.
The council, they decided to add this change as well onto the November ballot for the voters to decide.
Now to Lumberton, where city council members voted to ban game rooms Monday night. City manager Steve Clark tells 12 News there aren't any businesses with game machines in the city right now, but they want to stop them from moving in. It comes after Beaumont and Viner decided to ban game rooms in those cities. Lumberton's council will vote a second and final time on August 25th.
All right, back to school. Many Southeast Texas students are heading back to school today, and that includes Beaumont, Buna, East Chambers, Kirbyville, Jasper, Hardin, Jefferson, and Hampshire Fannett ISD. Orangefield, Vidor, and several other districts are also starting class today. And so from everyone here at 12 News Daybreak, we hope you all have great first days back. And Beaumont ISD students, they now have a new rule that they have to get used to.
Yep, those yonder pouches, they're being used this year to enforce the new cell phone ban. 12 News reporter Daniela Tabuada-Palau was live at Marshall Middle School with more on how this will work. Hey, Daniela.
Good morning. I'm currently here at Beaumont ISD Middle School. There are students already here in the cafeteria. They're still coming in. They're about to go to class in a few minutes. But as you can see, most of these kids are going to start using the state law where their cell phones are going to be banned. So usually their cell phones are supposed to be in the backpack, but now they're going to be in yonder pouches. The new state law bans all personal communication devices during school hours. While some schools are just letting students place their personal devices in their backpacks, Beaumont ISD will be making students keep them out of sight and out of mind. They'll be locked and unlocked by students, forcing students to focus on class.
So the main purpose of an educational institution is that students are focused and they learn. The students put their phone and their devices in the pouch, which helps them focus during the day. It'll be locked and then we'll unlock it. So what that does is that keeps the students from being distracted.
Parents were concerned on how their kids will communicate with them. The principal says the school has landlines in every classroom. In case of emergencies, the school will call, text, or email them. That's all we have for you today. Currently, the students are going to start heading back, but we're going to be wishing them a happy first day of school, so I'll send it back to y'all.
Thank you, Daniela. And now to a new study just recently published in the Journal of the American Heart Association. It highlights the impact of screen time on kids' heart health. Now, it included more than 1,000 participants from 2 Danish studies tracking how much time 10 to 18-year-olds spent on devices like phones, TVs, computers, and video game consoles. It found that 10-year-olds were on devices 3 hours each day and 18-year-olds 6 hours a day. Now, it found that all kids, especially 18-year-olds, had a higher risk for heart issues the more time that they spent on these devices. Now, this includes high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and insulin resistance.
And that's not the only thing they're at risk for. With the state's new law banning cell phones in schools, going device-free might also be giving students a new perspective when it comes to their vision. Sherman Chow has those details.
Kids love their devices, from games and gossip to social media and scrolling. William and Gabe are Lamar High School students.
How much time do you figure you spend a day on your phone or an electronic device?
I'd say like 5 hours a day. At night, definitely like a good 3 hours probably.
That's actually relatively good. Experts say on average, kids between 8 and 18 spend 7.5 hours a day using screens to play, study, and work.
No redness, no pain. No. Awesome.
A generation ago, 1 in 4 kids worldwide were nearsighted. Today, it's more than 1 in 3.
That is pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy.
UT physicians Dr. Stephanie Handel explains constantly focusing on near work literally reshapes your eye.
So anything that's kind of fingertips and closer, it's causing those muscles inside the eye to send signals to the brain that the eye's just not quite long enough. So the longer the eye grows, the more nearsighted they become.
The optometrist prescribes medicated contact lenses to help slow the progression of the disease in children.
So to help reduce digital eye strain, experts recommend that every 20 minutes you take a break from your device for 20 seconds and focus on something that's 20 feet away. Oh, margaritas. Chance you might actually do it?
Probably not.
Well, here's another recommendation then. Experts suggest spending at least 2 hours a day outside because studies indicate exposure to sunlight, focusing on items near and far, along with other benefits, can help lower the risk of nearsightedness.
All right, 12 News needs your help to clear the shelters. Meet Honey. She's a 6-month-old hound mix, and she's available right now at Beaumont Pets Alive. She's spayed, fully vaccinated, and microchipped. If you'd like to give Honey a chance, you can meet her today. And be sure to join us for our big event Saturday, August 23rd from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. There will be discounted adoptions, games, food, and more. You can even meet some of our 12 News staff from 11 to 2. Up next, the redistricting battle continues at the state capitol. Details on yesterday's walkout in the Senate. Plus, see new body cam footage from the Uvalde tragedy as officials pore over the new records released this week. It's now 7:42.
When industry news breaks, we're on the front lines, digging into the issue.
Lamar is working to protect Power City from hackers,
Filtering out rumors and giving you the facts direct from inside sources.
ExxonMobil and lawyers for the United Steelworkers.
Taking on the story from all sides.
The company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection last year.
Southeast Texas is a power city, and we're bringing the power to you. 12 News, putting Southeast Texas first.
As Texans, we have many reasons to be proud of the Lone Star State. Showing our pride by saying, "Don't mess with Texas," means we gotta step up, walk the walk. Do our part to keep Texas clean. Because after all these years, all these miles, all these traditions, for all us Texans, "Don't mess with Texas" means don't litter.
It's hard to really come to terms with dementia. There are little things that you can't even begin to plan for that happen that you need the early diagnosis for. My mom has done so much for me. There's no way that I wouldn't do the same for her. It's so important to have the conversation with your doctor earlier because you just do not know what the future holds.
We begin with breaking news in Port Neches.
Firefighters continue attacking the flames from the air.
We're working to learn more about a police chase.
We'll give you a live look at the scene tonight. Our crew there.
A chase in Port Neches turned into a standoff.
So we're working to get you more information.
We're going to keep you updated on air and online as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage on 12 News Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
I'm meteorologist Kerry Cooper here with another hurricane tip, evacuating correctly. If local authorities advise you to evacuate, do so immediately and without delay. Bring your emergency kit and be sure to follow evacuation routes. Do not try to take shortcuts because they may be blocked. Also remember to eat and get enough sleep for you to deal with whatever stress that may come your way. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
All eyes remain on Texas as Texas Democratic senators walked out of the chamber yesterday as the fight over redistricting continues. Now there aren't enough Democrats in the Senate to break a quorum or stop a vote. Moments after the state Senate began to consider the new congressional maps, 9 of the 11 Democratic members left. Like their House colleagues, they opposed a plan that would make it easier for Republicans to keep control of Congress.
What's happening down in that room right now is nothing but a scam and a sham on the people of Texas and the American public.
Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick calling the walkout a vacation as Governor Abbott promises to call more special sessions.
Plenty of sunshine out there to start off on your Wednesday. We have a few clouds and a couple of showers that have been generally near the coast. Down towards Port Arthur had a little bit of rain for this morning. But we're looking at almost clear skies here in Beaumont. Here's the view from Packer La Prairie in downtown Beaumont, looking at the Beaumont skyline for this Wednesday morning. Roofing 911 Live Skycam Network. We switch over to our 12 News studio here, and we're looking at, looks like traffic's going along pretty smoothly there on I-10 for this morning. This camera brought to you by Mid-County Plumbing. Once again, you can see mostly clear skies, just a few clouds off there in the distance. 70s to start off again this morning, middle 70s, a lot of locations at about 75. Jasper, Woodville, Silsbee, and here in Beaumont, all at 75 right now. 74 Kirbyville, a little warmer as you head over to Orange, 78, and then 79 in Port Arthur. As we look at radar, not much out there, a couple little specks of some light showers left over after we had a few thunderstorms down towards the coast earlier this morning. Port Arthur got a little bit of a thunderstorm this morning. It's long gone. And right now, like I said, just a couple of showers left over. That's about it. As you can see, here's that thunderstorm that went through earlier, right around about, say, 5 o'clock or so, 5, 6 o'clock. Then we had another batch of rain that died down before it really made it in off the coast. But there's that one batch of some showers and thunderstorms that went through. Big picture across the state, there's rain and thunderstorms up towards the Dallas area into northeast Texas this morning. A lot of scattered showers out in the Gulf, but none of those really making their way inland. As we look at Futurecast showing maybe a couple of showers towards the coast this morning, but those, like I said, are pretty much dying down. Once we get into the heat of the afternoon, 92 to about 94 for highs, with about 30-40% coverage of scattered showers and thunderstorms. So for some folks won't get a drop of rain today. Others could get a pretty heavy downpour here or there with about a half an inch or so. As we head to the overnight, temperatures back down into the 70s, and we'll watch for some more of those showers to develop along the coast tomorrow morning. Tropical storm Aaron, well out in the Atlantic, still looks like it's not going to develop too much until we get towards Friday, gets into some more favorable conditions. And once it starts to develop, they're expecting it to be a major hurricane by, say, Sunday into Monday. Looks like it's going to make that turn north right now, and that should miss the Bahamas. Also, it should miss the east coast of the U.S. and as well as the Gulf. We'll continue to track it. We'll have to wait and see if it does make that turn as we head towards early next week. And then there's this little area of disturbed weather heading in towards the Yucatan that'll eventually work over into the southern Gulf. That might give us a little bit more moisture to work with as far as some showers, but at this point, looks like it's not going to really develop into anything, kind of drift over into Mexico as we head towards the next few days or so. But so nothing for us out of that. Our forecast for today, variable clouds, about a 40% coverage of rain, a few thunderstorms. Temperatures going to be there in the lower to middle 90s. 70s for tonight. No rain expected, maybe a shower near the coast. That's about it. Winds will be light. As we look at our 7-day forecast, we'll continue our kind of wet trend throughout the next 7 days, about 30-40% coverage of scattered showers and thunderstorms, highs in the lower 90s and lows back into those middle 70s.
I wonder when we'll get a break of rain chance.
I don't know. I mean, we still have a lot of moisture around. What we really need, and that usually doesn't happen until late September, is a nice cold front to come through and kind of clear out some of this moisture, but don't see that anytime soon. Dang. So, yeah.
We're still good on drought conditions and all that, right where we need to be, basically.
Yeah, we're still right near normal as far as rainfall. So
yeah,
we're doing good there. Yep.
That's the silver lining, I guess.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeff. All right, Hardin County authorities say that it is too soon to say how 2 people died near Silsbee Friday. The bodies of 53-year-old Joanna Kilpatrick and 46-year-old Cyrus Brown, they were found in a trailer on Indian Hill Road. An autopsy report shows both had enlarged hearts and Brown had several head injuries. Investigators, they are waiting on toxicology reports to learn more. And the Port Arthur City Council, they have delayed a decision on who's going to be the city's next fire chief.
Mayor Charlotte Moses says the item was removed from yesterday's city council meeting. Councilman Harold Doucette Sr. says the issue needs to be heard in executive session rather than open. He says the city manager is looking to appoint interim fire chief Robert Havens, who took on the role after former chief Gregory Benton was fired in 2024. Now to the latest in this week's records released from the Uvalde tragedy.
Yeah, parents of the Robb Elementary shooting victims, they are continuing to push for answers. In a new body cam video, it is providing another look into the chaos and confusion during the shooting. Documents reveal that one deputy's camera wasn't working while another wasn't wearing one because it was still charging. And families say that these gaps in documentation, they only deepen their frustration.
Did they not have body camera on? And then some of these that were released, they cover up their body cams.
Brett Cross's daughter was killed in the massacre, and he says that he'll spend the next several days going through the county's documents looking for answers. Now, we're also learning more about two responding officers who are trying to help their loved ones when they realize that they might be inside those classrooms.
Amanda Henderson details the raw emotion the men are enduring and exposes the lack of urgency from those around them.
The desperate moments of two responding officers to the Robb Elementary massacre now seen in real time. Newly released body camera shows then Uvalde CISD officer Ruben Ruiz trying to get to his wife after the gunman was killed.
Ruben! They're calling.
Ruiz's wife was Robb Elementary teacher Eva Mireles. Mireles shielding her classroom 112 students from gunfire, injuries she ultimately died from.
Do we have kids in the room?
We know the tragic answer to be yes, including Felix Rubio's daughter, Lexi Rubio. Felix responding that day as a member of the Uvalde County Sheriff's Office. He's seen throughout the new body camera videos, both inside and outside the school, looking amid the chaos for any answers on Lexi.
I just want to see my baby. I don't know. I have no idea. St. Mary's sweater. That's all I mentioned.
Officers are seen holding Rubio up as they search for answers to no avail, believing someone they call the chief can help.
I know. Go talk to him first, okay? We're not doing anything standing right here. Let's go talk to Chief.
Former police chief Pete Arredondo and another former school district officer have trials set for October.
Yeah, they are facing criminal charges accused of failing to protect kids during that shooting. All right, we're going to have more news and weather next in your morning rush out. Your time is now 7:52.
As tropical activity picks up in the Gulf, 12 News is your hurricane headquarters. Get prepared before a storm hits. Watch the 12 News Hurricane Special, streaming on 12 News Plus. From the must-haves in your supply kit to the evacuation routes you'll need to take, plus safety tips and how you can protect yourself from storm scammers. The 12 News Hurricane Special, keeping you prepared. Sponsored by Entergy. We power life.
No matter where we start, every mile brings us closer. And as Texans, we take care of each other along the way. We lend a hand, slow down, and take our time. At the end of the day, we all want to get home safe. Drive like a Texan. Kind, courteous, and safe.
The impact killed my dad and brother instantly. A man, after drinking excessively with his coworkers, ran a stop sign, T-boned my parents' Honda, and destroyed our family. He could have just said, hey, I'm not okay. There's Lyft, there's Uber, there's taxis. There's so many other options. Every day, someone else can be taken away.
The STEM fields are providing opportunity to be part of the developments that will shape the future, and the Army National Guard is at the forefront of the movement. Soldiers can serve part-time and choose from dozens of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics jobs, working with cutting-edge technology and innovations. And the skills and experience they receive can open doors for them to civilian careers in the STEM world. Join a team that is taking the lead in STEM by talking to a local recruiter or by going to nationalguard.com/careers.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Patrick Vaughn, here with some hurricane tips for protecting yourself against flooding.
Take shelter in a designated storm shelter or an interior room and stay away from glass windows of doors. And if flooding begins, move to higher ground immediately. Never walk, swim, or drive through floodwaters. Remember, turn around, don't drown. For more hurricane tips, go to 12newsnow.com/hurricane.
Sponsored by Entergy.
Welcome back to Daybreak on 12 News Plus. It's 7:55 right now, and that means it's time for your morning rush out.
Here's everything you need to know as you start your day. An appeals court has denied disgraced former BISD electrician Calvin Walker's appeal. He's fighting a judge's decision to revoke his bond and send him to prison. Earlier this year, the judge ruled that Walker wasn't making a good faith effort to pay back the money he owes the district. Walker filed a second appeal, which is still pending. He's set to appear again on August 29th.
And voters in Beaumont, they're going to have a lot to decide come November. The city council, they voted on a bond package yesterday. That's going to be on the ballot there in November, which includes several propositions. Now, the main proposals, they involve infrastructure improvements, facilities and public safety, park renovations, the Riverfront Park expansion, and the Point Parkway North extension.
Harmony Science Academy in Beaumont is addressing traffic concerns on Calder by offering a new bus service. Students who opt in will be shuttled to one of 4 locations after school: the Beaumont Athletic Complex, Village Shopping Center, Gateway Shopping Center, and Rogers Park. Parents have mixed feelings. The principal says aides will help watch students.
And it's another day to keep the umbrella handy. Matter of fact, the next 7 days you want to keep the umbrella handy, as we'll continue to see scattered showers and thunderstorms. Most of the bulk of it will come during the afternoon, but we can't rule out maybe a few showers during the morning hours, kind of like what we've been seeing the last couple of mornings or so. About 30-40% coverage of rain pretty much every day, with highs every day around 92, 94, and morning lows in the 70s.
All right, before we go, a new trend that we hope catches on here in the States. In the United Kingdom, they are seeing a resurgence of bingo, but they are hyping it up to attract the younger crowds. No quiet bingo halls here. They are loud music, a party atmosphere, and colorful drinks. And the hosts, they don't just read out the numbers, they put on a show complete with dance breaks. And if 2 players, they get a bingo at the same time, they have to engage in some sort of duel to decide the winner. Bingo. I love bingo.
There's some places that do like hip hop bingo.
Oh, heck yeah.
Looks fun.
Yeah, I'll be down.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for watching Daybreak on 12 News Plus.
See you guys at 11.
Have a great day.